Second point I want to make is about content. You can see the program's called People and Leadership. And the way I see it, people and leadership are two sides of the same coin. So what is it about people that you intuitively want to know? Number one, you need to understand how to manage relationships. Number two, you need to understand how to motivate people. And number three, you need to understand how to communicate with them. And wrapped around all this are the new and generic issues of diversity, of inequality, of sustainability that come and play and change the parameters and make them more complex. So in essence, when you look at this topic of people within people and leadership, you're talking about four things. You're talking about current problems like diversity, current issues like inequality, current big ticket items like sustainability, like CSR, like ethics in business, etc. And all these wrap around the core issues of communication, of motivation, and this whole thing of managing relationships. So that's people out of the way. Now let's look at leadership. What is it about leadership that you need to know that's been absorbed and that's been inducted over 100 years of research? Because that's roughly how long people have been researching leadership, at least in the Western world. So what are the 4 or 5 things you need to understand about leadership from that standpoint? Number one, of course, you need to know, hey, what are some of the theories of leadership that have informed organizations and people working within organizations over time? And these have to do with the waterfall, the cascading waterfall of theories, There's theories around great man and charisma and traits-based and personality-based leadership. Then there's theories around behavior. There are theories around leadership style. There are theories around contingency styles of leadership, where this means that. So your leadership style is dependent on the situation you're in. And now, increasingly, there are constructionist views on leadership, where leadership is not merely looked at as a relationship of influence or something that's embodied in a person or something where one person is dragging a whole bunch of guys kicking and screaming to a better world, but rather something that is inherent in the relationship within organizations that are trying to have a shared meaning, a shared understanding of, hey, this is the big problem we face. These are some of the issues we need to overcome. How do we make ourselves ready, fit, and able to take purposive action to reach our ends? How do we adapt when life changes on us? And how do we make sure that leadership moves around between people even as the problem swirls and changes? In short, is a social construction of leadership that says, hey, leadership doesn't exist in a person. Rather, it lies in the space between people. So you need to understand some of these theories of leadership. And then, of course, there's that big doozy, that question of, hey, how is leadership different from management? Or is it different? Is it the same? Is it, bipolar? Is it unidimensional? Is it bidimensional? Is leadership different from management? Is management different from leadership? And what different people have to say as they weigh in on the issue. Once you've understood some of these concepts, By George, you know everything you need to know about people and leadership. Go forth and multiply.